All right, good afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. It is 36 after 12 on this Wednesday. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Good. Welcome to the blog, Snow Talk today. Should be back on track tomorrow to give you guys an update back into the morning hour. So if you're a little thrown off your schedule this week, hey, I am too. But at least want to make sure to get something out to you guys so you have something to hype about, snow lovers, and the snow haters out there, something to gripe about. So I'm trying to take care of everybody at one time here. I hope you guys are doing well. This is Snow Talk, where we look at the chances for snow, not only in the short term, but for the next 2 weeks, sometimes longer if there's enough data, but I try to control myself to just 14 days out. All right, you guys know how that works. So as always the case, if you're watching on streaming right now, you're only able to see, of course, the feed of me talking. But if you're on social, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, you're able to comment. So and you can see the comments, too, that fly up on the social side. All right, so Adam, no fog here. What are you talking about? Adam, you missed out because just about everywhere else in this area had fog. And it was, to get Ollie to less than an eighth of a mile is not easy. It doesn't happen very often, actually, for Louisville, but downtown all the time. But at the airport location, that's a little tougher, and it was close. It was close to that level, so it's pretty wild to see that for this morning. And the wind came in, and it's taking care of that in a big way, right? All right, so let's get into the snowboard for today. Now, obviously, the snow showers for tomorrow, daytime and night, are the main talking points. Thanksgiving week is the best way I can word it to you guys. Don't make fun of me. Rain or snow or anything. And then the first week of December, I do think that is a setup that we need to watch. I'll explain coming up. All right, outside, there's that blue sky showing up, and our lovely flags that we use all the time for gauging the wind, right? That's the thing. Now that we've got a partly cloudy sky, the wind actually could get stronger than we've had today. In Louisville already, we've hit 35 miles per hour. It could easily get back to that level, if not maybe a touch above it in a few cases, as that atmosphere is unbalanced right now when it comes to the heating and cooling effects as the front has moved by. And it has been a cold front. Gave us a little bit of rain, but not much else to talk about other than that. It was only just a few drops. All right, but that front is key on setting the stage for this colder scenario for tomorrow. Current wind gusts now, EKU coming in near the campus there at 31 miles per hour. Again, I mentioned Louisville has hit 35 for gusts. Right now, we're just below that team level there for that to show up. But not every gauge here can record wind gusts, so this map can look a little choppy, but we're monitoring it. I don't see anything excessive, and I do not see wind advisories coming out today for the wind or anything. But it will keep us chilly because temperatures have been struggling because of the foggy, then the cloudy setup, and now we're in the sun. Well, we didn't have a chance to warm yet today, and it's already 20 to 1. So that shortens the window dramatically for this afternoon on the amount of warming that can happen. But the problem is the sun angle is much lower now. So the recovery effort that the sun normally can do for us and be our best friend actually is not enough this time of the year, excuse me. So that we end up with a cool effect versus a very sunny scenario. Just can't really move the thermometer. So 47 now, but when you factor in the wind, it feels like 41, feels every bit of that. If you haven't stepped out, you'll know it. And in the 30s, where it's still a little more cloudier to the north and east. I think actual temperatures will still get into the 50s today, lower 50s at best. But again, with that wind, it's just not gonna feel like it. All right, so here's that front looking from space. You can see it on radar and satellite. Radar shows the rain showers. It wasn't much talk about. Moving off to the east. Now we're in that partly cloudy sky near Louisville and I-65, and then nothing but blue sky to the west of us. So it is going to be a really nice afternoon. But boy, yesterday we had beautiful blue sky and lower 70s. This time around, we're looking at temperatures into the 50s with wind chills trying to show up. All right, so here we go. That's the game plan for today. No weather issues tonight other than just wind and cold. We'll drop into the 30s, but there's no rain, no snow like that tonight. You're fine. So let's get right into Thursday. So here's what I'm going to do. Pay attention to where you're at on the map. I'm going to walk you through this hour by hour. This is just one model's idea. I'll let you know if there's any deviation that our thought process is trying to indicate for how this will play out. But I think right now we're on track to at least get the first little lobe of moisture in here tomorrow morning. And this may be a mix to start with, but it shouldn't take long because above our heads tomorrow, we are fairly cold. In fact, we're colder during the day tomorrow above our head than we are tomorrow night. So it gets a little odd here because the atmosphere is more primed to produce snow during the day tomorrow. It just doesn't have the moisture to do it. But we got the moisture tomorrow night, but we don't have as much cold. So it's always something, right? So tomorrow, I think there may be a small little crossover. Otherwise, it is cold enough that I think that the predominant type tomorrow is going to be snow flakes. And these are snow showers. We're going to be above freezing. The main impact you get from these is just visibility, driving in and out of them as you're heading through town. It will be gusty winds on top of that. That just knocks down the visibility a few notches. But are we looking at snow-covered roads tomorrow? No. Wet roads at best, if you get anything. Some of you may not see any snow because it will be very much like spotty showers will be in the summertime. That's the kind of scenario we're looking at for the daytime period. But then that changes as we get into tomorrow night. So I think we'll drop into the 30s tonight. We'll hold in the 30s for many areas tomorrow. When you get a snow shower that moves in your backyard, in your area, the thermometer may fall a degree or two because, again, it is quite cold up above. So when the snow falls, it'll pull the thermometer down. Still not to the point where it's going to push you into a danger zone to get below freezing. It just may keep you in the 30s range there, 34 to 37, to where it will just keep it as snowflakes that fall from the sky. And very much like a snow globe effect almost at times for tomorrow. But tomorrow night is when that loop-de-loop completes itself. Ron, are you here? Are you keeping track of my loop-de-loops? Okay. Anyway, the second piece, this is the main part. Now, this is where you really need to pay attention. We get into rush hour tomorrow. We're going to be looking north toward Indianapolis to see what's going on there. They'll be the first city to feel the effects of the second little lobe. As it moves to the south, I think we'll get into rush hour fine, but as the rush hour evolves, this wall of snow shower activity will drop down 65, likely to impact our Indiana counties by the time we get into about sunset, and then in Louisville thereafter. Now, what is interesting about this is look at the temperatures here, and this is just, again, a model's idea, so you don't want to take these verbatim, but look at the story it's trying to tell you. Notice in areas where you don't have anything falling from the sky, temperatures are generally in the upper 30s. In areas where you do have something falling from the sky, the thermometer drops to about 32. So it's not getting to the point where the roads are icing up and freezing up because ground temps are warm. That does counteract these first snow events, especially November snows that we have in our area. But it will certainly allow, and especially with the darkness of night, again, that's key, darkness of night, we are getting enough cooling to get us down to about 32, 33. Even at 34, you will start to notice some snow on the rooftops and grassy areas, all right? You'll start to notice that out your window. You get down to 33 and certainly 32, then you start to get that coating everywhere. Now, you'll notice the driveway and the roads overall will be just wet. There could be a few cases that I can't roll out that could get snow covered with a kind of a slushy covering, but this is a limited system. It only has just a few hours of a lifetime of snowfall to work with here, and then it's over. But timing for snow lovers, if you want to get something to stick in November, is nearly perfect. with it moving in the evening. The downside to that is that we're out driving. So it's going to cause a bit of a panic, and that's where we're trying to explain that this is not anything to panic about. This is not anything to stock up on by any stretch. But it is going to be the talker of the town because snow always gets the attention around here. It's just the way we operate. And when you see the snow showers, everyone's going to think, oh, no, what's happening? And when you start seeing it stick, then you really start to worry. But again, I don't see anything worrisome here at all. I just think it's a good festive snow for snow lovers. But if you're out traveling in it, I get it. It's going to be yucky. Visibility is not going to be great. You're going to have some of that snow sticking to your car and your windshield as you're driving around, and that it's just not fun to drive in. So please be careful no matter what, even if we're not dealing with icy roads, okay? So this is 6 o'clock snapshot. Here we go at 8:30. And I think this is really when Louisville has its moment to shine of getting snow showers, but a lot of it will likely get wasted. We'll talk about mountains in a second. You see again where that band is. There's where the drop happens. But as soon as that band of snow passes you and gets to the south, well, we've lost that intense rate that was coming down, right? So it eases back down. When that happens, the thermometers are actually going to go back up again. And above our head, we will get warmer. To the point where I think as Thursday night evolves, we're going to see the snow change back over to drizzle and then end. Even Seymour, look at that, back up from near freezing to 39 degrees at 12:30 tomorrow night. So it's going to be an odd temperature roller coaster ride here, guys. So you'll have a dip when it snows, but certainly in the evening, that'll be our biggest dip if we'll have one in temperature, and then we'll climb back up. Some drizzle, gusty winds, and then we'll fall back down again, but I don't see it being an issue again for icy roads into the early hours of Friday. I know kids are fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything, but I don't see anything that concerning. Okay, so here's the modeling. Let's go through this. Here's the NAM model. I like this. This is a good look. Northeast, a bit higher, lower southwest. That's easy and simple. Here's the graph model, in-house model that we have. Very similar. Notice again, the Louisville Metro is not in that. And while it's sort of laughable, it's sort of true. I just don't think the Louisville Metro in marginal situations really has a lot to really worry about. But you get into the knobs, you get into, especially around Madison and Jeffersonville, Indiana, you get into Salem, you get into Carrollton, Trimble County, you get into Newcastle. Those are the spots that in this scenario, I usually hear from you guys that you got a coating of snow and your pictures start flowing in. And don't forget to send your pictures and video to the Wave Weather app, guys. But anyway, that's a little more common to see that north and east of town. Here's the HERD model, just now able to see the event. Well, it's a little more aggressive than the others, right? With a higher total, still mainly east. Here is the GFS, same storyline. And here's the Euro. Boo. Euro's the bummer. But anyway, it's still got the same idea, though. Higher north and east. So when we look at our map, that's basically what we are thinking as well on this, is that this is going to be a situation. I thought I had this full screen. Let me see if I did not. Hold on. I'm going to save you all because I want you all to see this. Well, it's a little easier to read, right? Okay, I think this is it. Here we go. So this is our map, and we'll go with up to 1.5 inches in some spots there into southeast Indiana, up 71. I think there's enough moisture for that to happen, especially with the little bit of a warm surge that kicks into the system and gets injected into the evening. It's a bit odd. It's not a normal setup, and I think that is something that we don't know entirely how that will play out in a very minor uptick on snowfall, but it could. So that's something that I think is fair, and we are accounting for that, by the way, for that uptick that could happen and some of those snow showers, mainly southeast Indiana and in the bluegrass area of Kentucky. Louisville Metro, I had to draw around it because it's going to be tough. I mean, maybe in Fern Creek, maybe in J-Town, maybe Prospect, but Okolona, head into downtown Clifton, Shively, it's going to be a little tough to get to see much out your window due to the heat element effect there. And then lighter amounts, certainly to the south and west. And this is just an early, really snapshot of how this is looking. We still have another day worth of data to go through where there could be some minor changes. I don't suspect anything major is going to change here, but there could be 1 or 2 shifts by county. And if you're in our northeast counties, well, that's going to matter. You're going to want to know. So we'll watch that and see how it trends as we head into your Thursday daytime for the data coming in. So on the snow meter, I can't go much higher still than 1. I would love to, but I think it's really what it deserves right now is a 1. All right, so type 54 if you are good. If you're good with what I've said so far, just into the Thursday system. Type 54 if you're good. What'd you say, Carrie? In 2 days, we'll have all the data. Always a comedian. Always a comedian, Carrie. Let's see. Adam, what? There's a loop-de-loop. Okay, you got it. Very good. Oh, I see the spammer. I see. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can get rid of them. Oh, good. Good. All right, I got rid of them. Spammer's gone. Don't click on messages that look weird. Let's see. I think everyone's all right. I know everyone's talking about Thanksgiving. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get into the long term in just a second. All right, Jay. See, everyone's so impatient. Get to the 14-day. So impatient. Hey, everyone's works at different paces. Okay, different paces. I'm trying to make sure everyone gets the information so that I don't have to repeat myself 20 times, which usually happens anyway. This weekend, we're fine this weekend. Friday, I do want to mention, will be a windy day and chilly on Friday. Friday is still going to be a blustery day. It's not an alert day, but it's still going to be blustery. And mainly light drizzle, rain drops we're talking about on Friday. I think we're warm enough to where we have to worry about anything on the frozen side. The weekend looks good. All right, cards game's going to be cold, but not bad. Monday into Tuesday for Thanksgiving week, this is where the modeling just goes off the rails. And to be this close to Thanksgiving week and have a split that I'm about to show you is pretty remarkable. The GFS, or actually the Euro here, as well as 2 other global models, like the idea of a very fast moving wave Monday into Tuesday with a shot of rain. It's trending faster on some of this modeling, but I still think Monday and Tuesday is the window. If we're going to get rain, it'll likely be from that wave. But because it's trending faster with it, it allows for there to be a bigger drop in temperature as we head into the travel day and Thanksgiving. Dry, but cold. Normal Thanksgiving. That'd be nice. Instead of having to always say, hey, enjoy Thanksgiving wearing shorts and cooking your turkey outside. How many times have we said that in recent years, right? So this would be a bit of a change in narrative, just to even say it's chilly outside. Keeps us mainly dry, though, for the holiday. Has no system at all. Then we get into the very end of the window. The problem with that is that this cold air is in place, and the system rolls out that following weekend in the first few days of December. Well, gets a little interesting. All right, so now let me show you the GFS and why there's a lot of conflicting data. So again, we're fine this weekend. They all agree on that. That's good. Monday and Tuesday wave. All right, it's a little more pronounced with a Monday, Tuesday wave, but it's not as pronounced with the drop in temperature as we head in behind it, and therefore the next system moves right in for Thanksgiving Day and for Black Friday to take advantage of that and tries to thump us with a snow event for the Ohio Valley with, of course, I-64 being the dividing line. And then sets a stage for yet another system after that. So where are we at for Thanksgiving week? Right now, the GFS is pretty much in its own camp on data I've looked at on the idea of still an impactful system for the travel day and Thanksgiving. So we've taken the chances of rain and or snow down a bit for the travel day and the holiday because of that. If we see this data roll back in and ramp this back up again, those chances will have to go back up, I'm sure. But right now, there's more support against it than for it. So that's the way we're going to trend. But you see the stark differences there. Even this close to the event, we got to just trend it and just keep an eye on the ensembles to help smooth out the chaos, usually in this scenario. What happens after that? Well, it's just beyond the range here, but there is a very strong signal of an impressive system that's moving across the country near December 3rd, December 4th range. Now, where we fit into that, I don't know yet, but I do see quite a bit of cold air being involved in the system, but it also will have thunderstorms on the southern side. So the track is important on it. I don't have a lot of data I can show you on it yet, but the signal is strong for at least that period. We are only the 20th of November. We have plenty of time to track that. So at least want to mention why it was on the snowboard and what we'll be doing with that into the coming days. Okay, let's get right to the 14-day. Let's see. Any questions on the 14-day? I think it's pretty self-explanatory from what I just said here. Is Black Friday going to be bad? Not right now. We're not going with bad weather. We're going to go with quiet weather, and we'll watch it. I'll be here Thanksgiving and the day after, so we'll see what happens. Zach, hey Zach. So you're saying I'll be okay driving home from work from E-Town to Hardinsburg at midnight? Oddly, Zach, yeah, you're right. It will be easier to avoid any issues later at night than it will be earlier in the evening. So it's kind of odd. Cameron, could next week play out as the big one? No, unfortunately, next week there's a lot of disagreement. And as I mentioned, there's a lot against it than for it now. So that's why we're not leaning in that direction. We're going the other way for now. All right. We got plenty to worry about for Thursday there. Let's see. Hi, Austin. How you doing? If we are in a warm sector in early December, any severe weather? Yes, that is always a concern for any type of warm sector in December, even November, but certainly in December, as we know quite well from a few years ago. So that's why we need to watch that track. So while it's, got a lot of cold air and it could be a wintry system, I don't want to discount it could have thunderstorms too. So I don't want to completely throw you guys in one direction here. Just know it's going to be a big system across the country. Okay. All right. Thanksgiving Day blog, Jonathan. Yep. That looks to be the case. So stay tuned, as they say. All right, guys, I got to run. Appreciate y'all as always. Try to stay warm, find that winter coat, and let's just see what happens with the data as we head through the next couple of days here. Or as Carrie says, we're all going to know Friday morning.